Help it, man. This is real life that we're talking about. We're not talking about dingleberries and applesauce. It's real life.
And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that.
You do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
No.
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. He wants to hang out with you next week, and I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f*** you.
Terrence Howard worked on my first film, Get Rich or Die Trying with me. He's a good friend of mine.
If Diddy's insanity couldn't get any stranger, 50 Cent suddenly makes a crazy claim that he may have prevented Terrence Howard from becoming entangled in Diddy's bizarre world. Hold on, though, because it gets messier. At last, Terrence is speaking up and yelling names. He's revealing how some powerful businessmen were more than willing to trade in their pride at those notorious FO parties and never refused Diddy. Terrence claims that he himself barely avoided the lunacy. This is where things start to go haywire. Terrence reportedly received a request from Diddy's crew to participate in a documentary series. Did he agree? According to what has been mentioned, Terrence and 50 truly intended to reveal everything? Now the crucial query, who gave Diddy the go-ahead? Some of your favorite rappers may be among the well-known names being mentioned. This tale is rapidly getting out of hand. Does 50 Cent actually have the receipts prepared to reveal everyone who attended Diddy's crazy parties in that documentary series? And what actually occurred at what time? Terrence Howard was purportedly enticed into one of those scenes by Diddy. Let's dissect this insanity. I'm correct every time. I feel like I'm right when I'm right. And I might have been correct when I'm mistaken. Therefore, even though I could have been mistaken, I'm still correct. Terrence Howard recently spoke on the PBD Podcast and did an incredible interview. In case you missed it, he revealed how several well-known figures in the game blatantly compromised their morals in order to gain entry to those exclusive industry gatherings. Then, it became much more profound. Terrence didn't mince words when he said that Diddy's gatherings also featured that kind of dubious behavior. When you give up those things, do all those things. However, I've never seen anyone get over losing their manhood. That was the only person that attended the Puffy party. He made a suggestion that many celebrities didn't leave in the same manner that they arrived. Additionally, when host Patrick Bet-David's name was revealed, Terrence did not refute Justin Bieber's suggestion that he may have been enmeshed in Diddy's twisted world. You can see how some of these stars are still carrying the weight of what went down, he said, backing it up. Whatever happened at those parties left marks, and not the kind that fade. That was all the people who went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people who did all those things, thinking that there would never be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some over greater desire. You should have I think that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there, because they get fluid, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And you don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. Terrence didn't stop there, though, and he claimed that Diddy actually tried to make a move on him. It started off innocent, Terrence said, adding, and Diddy hit me up, acting like he needed some help with my acting. Did you ever have the opportunity where you were invited and you said no? Hell yeah. What were the consequences when he said no? Puffy asked me to come teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Then all of a sudden, Diddy changed things up and began expressing interest in Terrence's music. Terrence's assistant intervened and warned him. He's sitting there, just staring, and I say, all right, what do you want to work on? The next thing you know, he's just staring at me. Well, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. I go over there and start playing the music, and he sits there staring at me as if he's waiting. All right. So then my assistant was, he wants to spend next week with you, I said. And I thought, for what? He's like, I believe he's attempting to get you. Here's the thing, though. Terrence claimed that he had run-ins with other major producers as well, all of whom made strange backdoor offers to him. Terrence made it clear that he refused to sell himself out, regardless of the offer, and as a result, He claims he lost out on when a lot of producers approach you and you threaten to punch them in the mouth or to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You're going to get a real reaction back. There's a difference when a guy walks in a room versus when a man walks into a room. He made some big Hollywood deals, but he kept it real, and that came with a price. As you might expect, social media erupted after Terrence's interview began making the rounds. People couldn't stop talking about it. You see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that. They can't get it out of their heads. The thing that hurts them the most is that they can't get the things they did out of their head, regardless of how they did it. Whether they were intoxicated, high, or anything else, they gave up their man card, and they need therapy. As a result, they end up using drugs and trying to get rid of any morals they may have. And that's what the business does. The women who trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar. They have, if I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what good is it if I lose my integrity? You have to go in as a principal. The most absurd thing is that, with the exception of a few brave ones like 50 Cent and Cat Williams, most celebrities are remaining completely silent as if they have never even met Diddy. They have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. Is acting as though they don't know anything. Terrence is currently the only well-known celebrity to publicly admit that Diddy tried to date him. That's a brave move, and people are watching. Speaking of 50 Cent, he recently revealed more information about his upcoming documentary about Diddy. When asked why he's one of the few people speaking out, he said it's simple. Do it, right? This is you've been heavy on social media talking about it. We did it, and I'm the only one who's been vocal about it. I mean, I didn't participate, and I didn't go to those parts. Well, so much of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to what? So, was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Of course, I know what was going on there, but is it really true that long before it actually happened, no one was asking why he was saying this, and now it's coming out like crazy? Is there a reason you never did? I'm just not into all that weird stuff that he's doing. I'm just a little more basic or normal, if you will. Tyrese is now joining the conversation as well. He posted a video of Terrence's interview on Instagram with the caption, "No comment. I remain optimistic. God bless everyone." Meanwhile, this entire situation is being turned upside down by 50's concept of maintaining optimism.drama into material for his next Netflix documentary, which aims to reveal everything. This is where it becomes quite petty. According to rumors, 50 Cent has already contacted Terrence Howard to inquire if he would be interested in appearing in his documentary and sharing more details about Diddy's alleged attempt to entice him to participate. In one of those notorious FO sessions, 50 Cent is unrivaled, and I mean it when I say that. His petty behavior surpasses that of anyone in this whole world who has ever been petty. Child, 50 Cent engaged Diddy in a bidding war. Take action. Baby, Diddy Do It was acquired by Netflix. All of the events that have transpired since Cassie filed this case against Diddy will be covered in this documentary series. Keep 50 Cent out of everything because he is an unmatched pettiness. Furthermore, the fact that 50 wants Terrence to appear in the Diddy Do It series isn't shocking. Both of these have a past. Terrence had previously received support from the 50s, particularly after he came forth to describe how the major studios had blackballed him and defrauded him of millions of dollars. They had both encountered the darker side of Hollywood. Terrence has been speaking out against industrial inequity more loudly than ever in recent years. It's not just about money, he says. It's more profound. He thinks Hollywood is trying to deprive black guys of their masculinity. He claimed that the only reason he was called tough was because he refused to play gay characters or wear dresses for parts that needed it. He also responded to Taraji P. Henson's assertion that black women in Hollywood receive inadequate compensation. He wasn't surprised at all by his response. He remarked, "This kind of disrespect has been happening for years." Terrence then mentioned his personal hustle and flow experience. He acknowledged that he might have taken some other decisions if he had been aware of how Hollywood actually operated at the time. When that film came out in 2005, it was a big hit. It made more than $75 million at the box office when it was released by Paramount. Terrence made a lot of money from it. They pause for a minute. Terrence Howard was not given $12,000. I only ever created it from hustle and flow. Terrence claims that in order to finally receive the money he has been due for the past 20 years, he is seriously thinking of suing Paramount. This is by no means the end of the story. Terrence threw another bombshell as well. He claimed that he only received $6,000 for his work in the Oscar-winning movie Crash. That is really crazy. Send a letter or sue Paramount. Are you serious? I didn't realize that I had the opportunity to write them a letter saying, "Hey, you guys owe me about 20 years worth of residuals and performance royalties." At the time, all I was attempting to do was pay my rent. I earned $6,000 by performing Crash. Did I fail to recall the film Crash? Indeed, yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Actors receive no compensation from the company. This is the reason the strike is still in effect. Actors are having difficulty. 50 Cent wasted no time at all after learning about all of this. He rushed right in and volunteered to assist Taraji and Terrence. He invited them to visit Gunit Film and TV and assured them that he would give them the money they were due. No games. Now that Terrence is speaking out against 50's long-standing adversary Diddy, it seems like the ideal time for them to band together and reveal everything. However, the true question remains. Who did say yes? Terrence was straightforward. He stated bluntly that many men in the industry forfeited their man card by allowing Diddy to exploit them. You can probably guess some of the names that are floating around, let's face it. According to insiders, 50 Cent is fully committed to this forthcoming documentary and is prepared to bring everyone's names to the fore. So, who will be the next to be cut? None other than Jay-Z is one name that keeps coming up. The receipts contradict Jay's recent aloof behavior, which suggests that he and Diddy were never even close. Prior to the scandal, Diddy used to refer to Jay as his extended family. He even said that Jay was his strategist and the first person he would call if things didn't work out. Let's not forget the video in which Diddy said that Jay-Z performed at the Bad Boy 20th anniversary show instead of attending Blue Ivy's recital. What more screams loyalty than that? However, Jay signoring the entire circumstance. Many things, dude. Above all, he had a recital in which he was required to appear on stage. I informed him that this particular situation was crucial when he reached out to me. Bad Boy commemorated 20 years of successful music. This is also an extensive family. You've supported me at my highs and lows. This is also an extensive family. You have supported me at my highs and lows. Every time I get into trouble, you learn. I call this one. Right here is my strategist. This is my sibling. This brother. Indeed, sir. This evidence. Jay-Z is now saying that he and Diddy were never truly that close. However, how can you pass up an important occasion like your daughter's recital in order to perform on stage with a stranger? It doesn't add up. Let's go back to 2023, when Diddy and James Corden got into a carpool karaoke session. He stated unequivocally that Jay is the only person other than his mother who is permitted to address him by his official name. Not accepted. No, you're not. Sean, even though I adore you. Thank you for that. You don't know me? Yes. Who in the entertainment industry has Sean's approval? Only one individual is present. Oh, please. Moreover, I call him Sean. We call each other Sean. That's Jay-Z. All right. Yes. I couldn't be called Sean by anybody else. Sean solely gives his approval to him. Not a single individual belongs to that family. Other than my mother, the answer should be no. All right. That alone ought to be beckoning me. Yes, that ought to address me as Sean. That sounds like more than just a casual acquaintance. Additionally, Diddy received a BET Lifetime Achievement Award in November 2023, only a few months before Cassie dismissed her claim. Can you guess who recorded a tribute specifically for him? Jay-Z indeed, and he doesn't do that for everyone. And don't forget about the video that's been going around. At Diddy's residence, Jay is completely greasy and shirtless as Diddy sings him a happy birthday. Surely that doesn't shout just industry peers. I hope you have a happy birthday. Greetings on your birthday, my beloved friend. I hope you have a happy birthday. Thank you. We both had a big birthday today. Yes, but wait. It's also claimed that he will appear in Tyrese's upcoming documentary on Drink Champs in 2022, so don't sleep on the game. The game disclosed that Diddy asked him to record an album, but no music was produced for 2 full years. Rather, they simply took a round-the-world flight while Diddy lavished him with expensive presents. He then brought it up once more when the game appeared on Vlad TV following the Diddy accusations. Diddy and I had a great 2 years together. There are no recorded tracks, just constant partying, particularly in Atlanta. You mean I start having fun with Diddy? For 2 years, I roamed about with Diddy. Oh no. Yo, with your demo that, bad boy. Hey, Playboy. Hey, here go watch Playboy. Here go Playboy. I'm like, yo, we ever going to rap? Yo, but the jet leaving 5. We going to Miami, Playboy. You know what I'm saying? I was traveling everywhere with Diddy and we were in Atlanta this weekend. Playboy, pop out. Pop out. And if you think that's crazy, you're only getting started. The source of that is even more extensive. Tyrese's future documentary may attract more well-known figures. Let's start with Stevie J, Diddy's longtime pal and producer. In fact, producer Lil Rod named Stevie in that outrageous lawsuit, alleging that Diddy openly boasted about hooking up with him. Additionally, Stevie clapped back too forcefully when 50 Cent criticized him for standing up for Diddy, as in really protective. Everyone is now waiting to see what 50 will say about him in the doc. There's absolutely something in the works. Whatever someone does in their bedroom is what they do, and I have no idea what it is. That has nothing to do with me. I just wanted to let you know that I have never witnessed my man engaging in any bad behavior like they are discussing. Not a bit. Everything. I have never seen it, He and I have been friends for 29 years. And then, you know what I mean? It's like with guys like 50. Uncle Tom was cast in that manner. Do you understand what I mean? I don't know whether you started posting what 50 posted about me, but it seems like you want to put me in the spotlight now. You people, of course. Yes, you are aware, yes. For months now, 50 has been pursuing Diddy and everyone connected to him. Ever since the case against Cassie. Yes. Do you understand what I mean? However, you can't ignore the situation. According to Tatted Up Holly, he beat her up and about. His second baby mom also reported that he beat her up, but I don't see anyone reporting on that. I simply consider it to be, he wants to destroy the black community more than anyone else, Next up is Machine Gun Kelly, who was once contracted to Bad Boy and was frequently spotted having a wild time with Diddy. MGK even made a suggestion that he saw some crazy things happening around Diddy, but he naturally kept the specifics to himself. Wasn't typical. When you kick it about him, it seems as though his entire existence is insane to witness. Do you understand what I mean? Because I always make care to maintain my normalcy. However, that mother resembles a walking company for the time being. Not to be overlooked are Rick Ross and DJ Khaled. Jonathan Oy, Diddy's former employee, claims that both of them were also exposed. People are still trying to piece together what actually happened, so whatever he said must have been spicy. Jonathan stated during his police interrogation that Diddy had engaged him especially for such freak-off sessions. And it gets wilder still. He claimed that he attempted to speak out after contracting an STD from Diddy. At that point, Diddy supposedly sent Rick Ross to keep him quiet. Jonathan claims that DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and Diddy frequently attended those crazy events. He even claimed that they were all directly involved, which are excellent friends, Ross and Guise. They admit to being gay. Who? Both, Ken, Ross, and Eddie. Every one of them is gay. All right. PJ, Rick Ross, DJ, and Challenge. They're all gay, yes. I got you, so yes. Many men in the industry may have given up their man cards during Diddy's notorious parties, as Terrence Howard stated. We haven't even touched the surface, to be honest. There are many more names that have not yet been mentioned. In other words, if someone was spotted out and about with Diddy and is now acting as though they have never met him, yes, give them a serious side eye. Our only option at this point is to wait for 50 Cent's explosion. Was it him? Documentary series to be released. What are your thoughts on Terrence Howard's allegations that Diddy attempted to smash him, though? Till then, who else, in your opinion, ought to be revealed next? To ensure you don't miss the next bombshell episode, hit the like button, share this with your friends and family, Leave a comment below with your opinions and remember to subscribe. See you on the following one.